we've got a really great session coming up, and this is with my dear friend Geir Nordeng. He's the director of the Arctic Philharmonic Orchestra, and we first met in Norway just over a year ago. And I want to bring Geir in now so that we can share the story. Hello, Geir.
Hello, Paul.
It's great to see you. Thanks so much for joining. And I was just telling everybody that it was just over a year ago we met in Oslo, because our Franz Josef Land expedition, Arctic Russia, brought back one of its outputs was a new symphony. And I was very fortunate to be invited to Oslo for the premiere. And I was amazed, because it was Geir's team making beautiful music with traditional, what we think of as traditional instruments, plus a whole range of specially designed instruments, ice breaking at certain key times and drips of water so that we could hear the glaciers melting, and amazing singers. I was in floods of tears there that evening, Geir, and then I remember drinking champagne with you afterwards, and we were making huge plans for how do we do this event, maybe up in the Arctic, and we had visions of big tents. And then something called COVID-19 arrived. So here we are, Geir, thousands of miles apart, speaking to each other on a screen.
On a screen, yeah. And I will get back to that meeting, that's the very meeting in my speech, because it was a really nice evening in the Oslo Concert Hall.
Yeah, and Geir, thank you very much. I know you've got a full presentation, and for everybody, this is about the importance of communicating global issues via art, and particular music. So Geir, the floor is yours. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Hello, world. It is a great honor to speak to all of you at this festival. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Paul Rose for the invitation. As he said, we met at Oslo Concert Hall just before the pandemic broke out, listening to the Oslo Philharmonic and the European premiere of Arctica by composer Lera Auerbach. This piece was co-commissioned by the Oslo Philharmonic and the National Symphony Orchestra in Washington, together with the National Geographic Society. Representing the Arctic Philharmonic and National Geographic, we both agreed that this piece also must be performed in the northern part of Norway, closer to the Arctic, and this is still our master plan. Meanwhile, Paul reached out to me this March to ask if I could talk on the importance of communicating global issues via music. We also agreed on giving the festival a musical video featuring some of the things our orchestra has been doing the last few years, including during the pandemic, with a focus on the theme of this festival. The Arctic Philharmonic is the world's northernmost symphony orchestra and is based inside the Arctic Circle, an area where climate changes represent early and visible consequences. The orchestra is quite unique, as we are based in two cities, Tromsø, the home of our chamber orchestra, and Bodø, home of our sinfonietta, and the beautiful city where I'm addressing you all this evening. And I'm actually sitting in the concert hall, Stormen Concert Hall in Bodø. About 8 times per year, we come together to form our symphony orchestra. Additionally, we collaborate with both cities on innovative chamber music programs from time to time. In the video I will show, you will be able to see some of these consultations for yourself. And for more music, concert can be found on our YouTube channel. Living in this area, the orchestra's awareness is also affected by this, both in programming and joint conversations within our organization. How can music play a part in the public debate? And how can we address global challenges through music? Worldwide, we can find several initiatives and established organizations to focus on this question. But in this speech, I will only focus on some of them. John Luther Adams received the Pulitzer Prize in Music in 2014 for his orchestral work, Become Ocean. This is probably the most played and well-known work to focus on global challenges. As the jury said, It is a haunting orchestral work that suggests a relentless tidal surge, evoking thoughts of melting polar ice and rising sea levels. Adams himself says, "As a composer, it is my belief that music can contribute to the awakening of our ecological understanding by deepening our awareness of our connections to the earth. Music can provide a sounding model for the renewal of human consciousness and culture." Another composer, Kieran Brunt, has written a work called The Rising Sea Symphony. This work looks at the perils and dangers caused by rising temperatures and sea levels around the globe. Combining vocal, electronic, and orchestral layers with spoken word and field recordings, he travels around the world to Ghana, Mont Blanc, and the North Pole to hear stories of people whose lives have been affected by environmental changes, before jumping to an imagined future to look on what could happen if we don't, or do, address these pressing issues now. So, here we have two examples. Adam's work, where the listener can be able to close their eyes and let the music speak for itself, or Brunt's work, where the music is strengthened by the spoken word and field recordings. Like Brunt, Lera Auerbach, in her work Arctica, also uses footage from a field trip and brings the audience into a world inspired by ice and frozen conditions of the Arctic after a journey there. Before the concert in Oslo, Paul Rose was leading a panel discussion on climate change in the High North based on this piece. This approach was also the case when the Arctic Philharmonic premiered the work The Sound of the Arctic by Lasse Thoresen. Before the concert in Oslo, we invited decision makers to a climate panel to discuss the climate changes in the High North. One of the speakers was the president of the Sami Parliament in Norway. Thoresen visited Svalbard in periods over years, and he experienced climate changing at close hold. This inspired him to compose this extraordinary piece of music. Some parts of it you will soon be listening to in our video. From UK, you are able to listen to an orchestra called Orchestra for the Earth. On their website, their mission and how they aim to perform their concerts are well explained. I think it answers our question in a good way, so I will read some parts from their homepage. The climate crisis is the greatest threat facing humanity, and classical music can help avert it. Orchestra for the Earth unites some of the finest young professional musicians and contemporary composers committed to protecting the world their generation will inherit and using music to motivate others to do the same. Last example, let's visit Germany and the Beethoven Pastoral Project. This project was launched in Bonn at the UN World Climate Conference on the 15th of November 2017. Beethoven was born in Bonn. Bonn is also a UN city and the seat of the UN's Climate Change Secretariat. Beethoven loved nature. For him, it was a place of relaxation, and as for many other composers after him, inspiration. The name of the project refers to his sixth symphony called the Pastoral. On the occasion of Beethoven's 250-year anniversary in 2020, they call on creative people around the world to set an example for climate protection. In addition to a moderated live stream on their homepage, the first artistic statements and projects on the subject of culture and sustainability were presented by over 250 artists and ensembles from 6 continents. The live stream also featured the world premiere of the documentary film The Sound of Nature. All this happening on June 5 on the World Environment Day of the United Nations. So, dear viewers, I think this is the right path to go. I am a strong believer that music is a vehicle for communication and therefore can effectively address the global challenge of climate change. Music is a language with no barriers, and when put together with the spoken word on screen or online, or together with climate panel discussions before or after concert, music has the power to make a difference. The Arctic Philharmonic often commissions new music, and through these commissions we focus on issues we consider important. Among others, the orchestra has a special focus on the Sami culture and the importance it has in our region. As you might know, the Sami population has a strong focus on sustainability in their culture and way of living. And now, dear friends, some music. First, you will hear the opening of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, COVID-19 style, where the musicians used sceneries from their local homes and environment. Then, you will hear other music videos produced in the year of the pandemic, as well as an older video the orchestra made in Svalbard. All music in between in this video, and the dramatic finish is music from exactly Lasse Thoresen's The Sound of the Arctic, combined with sceneries from our backyard in the high north. Enjoy!
more, colder, more wind. Bring it on.
Wow. Bravo, Geir.
Thank you very much.
Encore. I mean, if there's one single demonstration about the value of communicating global issues via music, that must be it. That needs to be played everywhere, as often as possible, all the time. That's all we need to know about the value of global issues being communicated by art. Geir, that was there's something about your work. It always makes me emotional, makes me cry. There's just something about it, you know. Really fantastic. Well, look, Geir, we have to keep moving along, as you know.
I know.
But I was so happy when you mentioned our master plan, because everybody listening, we have this master plan, Geir and I, to run the Arctic concert up in the far north. Geir's got it all laid out. We got held back by COVID-19, but it's not going to stop us now. And Geir, we're way out of time, but have you got any last final words to the global audience, please?
No, actually not. I think the video spoke for itself, and what I mentioned in my speech. I think this is a good way to communicating these issues and global challenges that we have worldwide. So I hope everyone can make those small steps to make the decision makers and governments listening.
We love you, Geir. We just love you. So warm greetings from Switzerland, and we'll see you very soon, we hope. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
See you soon.
I will.
Thanks again.
Thanks for having me.